Let's go to move out of the NFC West and into the South, a division that is always entertaining to talk about because of
Who?
exactly because of the who and because of the team that is going to be obviously competing at the top, and that's going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this is probably my mildest take out of all of them.
We're going to have the same one, I bet.
And I'm going with Baker Mayfield. He completed
Okay.
70% of his passes last year, which is really good. And I think he's going to go back to back on that. So 71.4% last year. He hadn't done that in his career ever before. I think he's going to go back to back with that. I don't think that he's going to have a slump off, especially with the weapons that are around him. You look at, obviously, Mike Evans is still there. Chris Godwin's coming back from injury, but you have obviously a brand new rookie wide receiver that they just drafted 19th, and he's going to be heavily involved. Obviously, you have Bucky Irving out of the backfield. You have Rachaad White, who's great out of the backfield and receiving catches. This is a really talented team, especially on offense, and being in the 70% is not going to be out of the norm for him. I think he's going to go back to back on that season. Again, one of my milder takes, but the Bucks aren't. I didn't want to go super crazy on all of them. You have to have mild takes in here, and I chose the Bucks for that.
Chris Godwin's coming back from injury. What year are we doing this podcast? 19, 20, 21, 22? My mild spicy take for the Bucks, in which I thought we were going to be on the same page, which if you're expecting a good year for Baker Mayfield, it makes sense. But Mr. Mike Evans.
Yeah.
He got 1,000 yards last year by the skin of his teeth. Last game of the year, I think the defense gave it to him.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm okay with it. Quarterback falls over to give the last sack to break the record. We've seen this before. I think Mike Evans blows by the 1,000-yard mark with ease this year. He stays healthy, and that will give him the 12th straight season of 1,000 yards rushing. I have always been a massive Mike Evans fan, and the reason for that is because it's crazy that it's been 12 straight years, because the first year that I watched college football was Johnny Manziel running around like crazy at Texas A&M and just hucking it up to Mike Evans. And that is the first year that I started watching college football, and I've always been a massive Mike Evans fan. So shout out to him and his career. It's been amazing, and I hope he caps it off here with another 1,000-yard season.
Yeah, I got really close to the same Mike Evans take, and I switched it to a milder take with the Baker Mayfield thing. So we were going to have the same take there for a minute. Let's go ahead and move into another polarizing team, and that's the Atlanta Falcons. I feel like there's another polarizing team inside this division, but I have a medium take.
I'm spicy in this division, I promise you.
Okay.
The spice is coming here.
I wasn't sure if this is a medium take or a hot take because of how bad the Atlanta Falcons pass rush has been over the last 3 years. They just drafted 2 edge rushers in the first round, James Pierce Jr. and Jalen Walker. James Pierce Jr. I was extremely high on in the draft, and I like Jalen Walker a lot, especially in the system that they play in for Atlanta. I think they got drafted to the perfect places. I think they combined for at least 15-plus sacks. And again, it's more of a medium take. It could potentially be called a hot take just because of how bad the Falcons' pass rush has been. And on top of that, James Pierce is not listed as the starter currently, but I think he's going to make his impact very quickly. Again, I'm very high on James Pierce Jr. coming into this season. Again, 15-plus sacks combined as rookies. I don't think either one of them is going to be in contention for Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I think that those honors go off to a couple of different people, but Pierce and Walker, 15-plus. What do you got?
I like the fact that you're blending up the offense and the defense pretty well. I think I was very offensive heavily with these predictions because
it's easy
those are the crazy ones. But my NFL prediction is that the NFL has a receptions leader, and he comes from the Atlanta Falcons. Who do you think I'm going with?
Oh, you're going with Kyle Pitts, right?
Yeah, that dude's trash. Drake London was going to lead the NFL in receptions this year. That is my prediction for the Atlanta Falcons. And yes, that means that Michael Penix is going to have a hell of a year.
I'm with you with the Penix stuff. Absolutely. Because I love Penix and I hope he does extremely well. I do think it's interesting that we both have reception leaders coming from 2 separate places that I don't think most people have the reception leaders at. And that's coming out of Seattle and Atlanta. Atlanta being the more the more surprising one out of the two, I think. A Drake London receptions leader. Interesting. Okay.
Let's just get some new blood into the season this year, man. If you're drafting Justin Jefferson at the top, if you're taking Jamar Chase at the top, if you're drafting CeeDee Lamb at the top, I got news for you. You made a mistake. We got some new blood coming this year. It's going to be an exciting season, and I think this is the year that the new wave takes over the NFL a little bit. Let's do that. Let's do the Saints. Let's do the Saints. I got something special for you for the Panthers. So let's do the Saints.
The Saints, I have a mild to medium one, and the only reason I say it's a mild one is because he has been in potential trade talks for a while now. But I think Chris Olave gets traded by midseason. I think he's gone. I think the Saints are – where are the Saints at right now? They don't have a quarterback. They have Alvin Kamara, who is there, isn't there. He's still solid. The offensive line isn't good. The receiving core outside of Olave isn't good. I guess Rashid Shaheed, cool. Yes, I do remember week 2 of last year when he blew us up. I do remember that very vividly. The defense is like, where are we at with the Saints? I think hauling off Olave to a different team for some type of compensation is going to be the best thing for the Saints and for Olave as well. Get him out of an area that's just giving him hospital balls and just constantly giving this man concussions. I think his trade value remains high, but the injury concern is there because the amount of concussions and injuries that he has sustained while in New Orleans, getting hospital balls from a plethora of quarterbacks that like to give them out. Derek Carr. So yeah, man, I think he should be gone by midseason. So again, that's a milder take because he has been in the trade talks for a whole year now at this point, but medium because it is a potential wide receiver 2, wide receiver 1 being hauled off somewhere else.
Yeah, I think the Saints are going to shock the world. And on the back of Alvin Kamara, they are going to rack up 8 wins in this NFL season with a plethora of starting quarterbacks.
So you're telling me that, oh man, a plethora too?
I'm telling you that Alvin Kamara gets Offensive Player of the Year votes this year.
Okay. Man, I'm so low on the Saints. There's teams where I could be brought up from being low on, like looking at the Cardinals and their roster and diving deeper on them. I'm like, okay, I was probably rough on them. I could probably give out some more wins to them. Like, I could be brought up pretty easily there. But I'm like, the Saints, I don't know how much I could be brought up from. I think my 1 or 2 wins I give
the Saints go marching in.
Oh, man.
When the Saints go marching.
Oh, no.
Hey, that's why we do this, baby.
Okay, you have something special for the Carolina Panthers. I'm going to let you go first on this one because, again, I'm usually really hot on them. I'm a milder take on this one because I'm always at 1,000 degrees with the Panthers, but I decided to hold off a little bit on this one.
Hey, I'm going to let you decide whether it's injury concerns or just lack of playability, but when we look up at the end of the season, Andy Dalton starts more games for the Carolina Panthers than Bryce Young.
No. We're not doing that. No, we're not doing that shit. No. Bryce Young is the starter, and he will be the starter for the Carolina Panthers. He has no injury concerns. He's going to break 3,500 yards and 20 touchdowns. He's going to be super solid. Stop. No, the red rifle isn't coming and stuff again. That's insane. I don't want it. I'm leaving that one at the door.
You're up, young man.
I went mild on that one. We talked about Derrick Brown in our last episode of top 10 positional rankings and how high that we were on him. And a lot of that comes from projection of his 2023 season, obviously being injured the 2024 season. 103 tackles as an interior defensive lineman is insane. And I think he is right there once again. I think he gets his second Pro Bowl nod. And I think he gets his first team All-Pro selection. And that's with so many good interior defensive linemen in this league right now. Chris Jones is still around. Quinnen Williams is around. Dexter Lawrence is around. I think Derrick Brown is not going to be able to be ignored. The Pro Bowl selection, I don't think it's good. He's going to get a ton of votes, but I still think he's going to sneak in there. But I think that the All-Pro selection is coming for Derrick Brown at the very least. Again, I'm not saying that Chris Jones is falling off or Quinnen Williams isn't there. I'm actually saying the opposite for Quinnen Williams. I think Quinnen Williams is going to be fantastic. But I do think Derrick Brown earns his first team All-Pro.